up Moses' mountain, come and meet with God. Come with me to the riverbank with the spinning wheels above. Come with me up Moses' mountain, come and meet with God.
Requirements of a priesthood. There were requirements in the Old Testament. There are requirements in the New Testament. They're different. One of them, the first one, any guesses? Any thoughts on what a requirement of a New Testament priesthood might be? Yes, well, being born again helps. I'm making the assumption that we're speaking to believers who are wanting to offer up worship to God. But yes, absolutely.
Pure coal.
Pure heart.
Yes, definitely a pure heart. Good suggestions. The number one scripturally is love. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. First requirement of a worshiper. Without love, there's no worship. Worship is love. Out of passionate love and relationship is where worship flows from. It's not an act. It's not singing songs. It's not offering physical sacrifices. Although those things flow out of a love relationship. But the first thing is about love. There is a scripture, and good for me, I didn't write the reference down, that says, "My joy is in my nearness to God, that I may tell all what you have done." And so, as we draw near to God, as we cultivate relationship with Him individually, as a worship team, as the congregation, love and worship begins to flow out of that place. Number one requirement. The difference for those of us who are on a worship team is that we have chosen to accept a call from God to a leadership role. And if we look at the model that Jesus has given to us, leadership translates as serving. So we are still required to cultivate that love relationship. Worship flows out of that place. What sets you apart as a member of a worship team, other than your obvious musical ability, sometimes it's not so obvious musical ability, is your ability to understand that leadership is serving. And that we're here to serve various things. I'll get to that. But ultimately we're there to serve God and to serve the people in their priestly role, being able to lift their offerings to God. So essentially we're looking to do what Jesus did, put the towel on, and make sure that the people in the congregation begin to understand and take on their role as priests, lifting up an offering from earth to heaven. So love is the first requirement. As a leader, your love, your joy, your passion must be evident. And this is not something that you can put on. Because I know you all know this. If somebody is performing for you, if somebody is drumming up an appearance of passion, you see right through it immediately. You can tell that they're putting on an act, that that's the clanging cymbal, that's the sounding gong. That real passion isn't performed. But it is our responsibility to stir passion, to cultivate passion, to get passionate and let it be evident in your leadership, in the way that you model worship. Okay, and that can't begin on the platform. That begins, and we've said this over and over again, this is very basic. I understand a lot of this is very basic, but we need to understand this begins in a lifestyle of worship, in a lifestyle of ever being before Him, of gazing on His beauty. We must have an individual revelation of who He is and that He's worthy of our love in order to model it for other people. It is in your personal life and personal worship time that passion gets cultivated. Passion is not a personality trait. It can look different in different personality types, but passion is something that comes from an intimate exchange between us and God, and there is no replacement for that. Our number one requirement as leaders on a worship team is to cultivate a love relationship with Jesus. Without that, we will have nothing to follow.